Hi everyone! Thank you for joining me for the Tween DIY at Home edition. My name is Dana and I work at the Arlington Heights Memorial Library in the Youth Services Department. So thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be making paper stars, and they look like this, 3D origami stars. And they are a bit tricky for some people to get the pinches right and everything. So if you get very frustrated with it, I will have another project at the end. So let's get started. First, you're gonna need strips of paper. So I started with, you can either use plain printer paper, you can use fancy scrapbook paper that you might have laying around. That's probably the best thing that you can use. I actually had some old sheet music that I didn't need anymore. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut it, and you're gonna cut it into long strips and very thin strips. So I cut it into strips that are about 1/2 inch wide, and these are about 12 inches long, but 11.5, if that's the paper that you have, is just fine too. It really doesn't matter how long it is. The more important thing is the width. So you don't want it to be more than 1/2 inch thick. So get your ruler out and your scissors, unless you have like a home paper cutter or something that you can cut more accurately with, but scissors will do just fine. So go ahead and get however many strips you want to cut. Get that started first, and I will show you where to go from there. So next, what you're gonna do is take the end of your strip, and if it's a decorative piece of paper, like it has decoration on one side and plain white on the other side, you're gonna want to make sure that the decoration is on the outside. So you're gonna start out by making what looks like one of those awareness ribbons, and just kind of stick the shorter end on the outside, and then tuck it under like you're making a knot, and slide it through until you see the shape that looks like a pentagon. And you want it to be pretty precise angles, just like a 5-sided shape would be, like a pentagon. And then you're gonna see just a tiny tail at the end. Mine happened to be a little bit too long to tuck, so I'm gonna just tear off a teeny bit of that end. If you can see what I did there. And now I have the one end that's like a little tail sticking out. I'm gonna take that tail, fold it so that the white paper is covered up, and tuck it into one of these little pockets here and slide it in so I have a flat edge. And you just want to tuck that away, if you can see that. Then you're gonna take the long tail and start wrapping it around so that the white side is on the inside, and then just keep on going, following the edges so that they are flat and maintaining that pentagon shape. It takes a little while to get the hang of it, so don't get frustrated if you don't get it right away. It took me a while to get really used to it. Now, you want to keep going until you just have that little tail at the end again. So now, if you can see, I have a little tail, and I'm gonna take that tail, it's hard to see in the light there, but I'm gonna tuck it into one of these little pockets so that it is nice and secure. Okay? Now, this is the pinching part that I said might be a little bit frustrating for some, but what you're gonna do is you're going to take your thumbnail and you kind of find the flat part, the edge of the pentagon, and just kind of pinch your nail into it. You're digging it in gently but firmly to each of the sides. So you're gonna do that 5 times. Hopefully you can see that. So now there I have my 5 little pinches, and then just to make it a little more perfect, I'm gonna take the points of the star and just pinch them gently so that it looks more like a star. And as you can see, this one is not perfect. I do have some that are a little bit nicer shaped. Some paper is gonna work better than others. That's a nice firm one there. And sometimes you're not gonna have a great one. This one's really loose. I think the paper was too thick on this one, so it just didn't turn out very well. I have a whole jar here filled with ones that I've been working on, and some of them are great and some of them are kind of duds. But my goal was to just fill the jar to make it look pretty. So I didn't care if they were perfect or not. It depends on what you're planning on doing with the stars, if you just want them to be in a jar to decorate, or if you are going to give them as a gift, or if you wanted to make a garland out of them. There's many things that you can do with these stars. I thought it would be kind of fun to maybe make one star for each day that we're home during this time period. You could do that just to keep track of time. You could make them as a gift for graduation, for a holiday coming up, for anything that you want. They're very fun to make. If you do make it with the white paper, the computer paper, you can color it with a marker and decorate it that way. I've seen it where people will do layers of colors in a jar and it looks like a rainbow. So there's lots of things that you can do. If you get very frustrated with the pinching part, then head on over to the next project and I will tell you more about that. All right. Now, if that was too frustrating for you and you want to give something else a try, just something simple, I'm going to teach you how to make a paper cup using origami. So this is a simple folding project. So here we go. You're going to need a piece of, if you have origami paper, that's great, but if not, just a piece of plain printer paper is going to be just fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to fold it. This is how you make it into a square. You're going to fold it up into a diagonal so that you'll have a perfect triangle here. Make sure the edge is real lined up there. And then you're going to flatten out the crease. So now you have just one little tab here. I'm going to take that tab, the extra part that's not part of the triangle, and I'm going to cut it off along the edges there. You can also just fold it and tear it. That's just quicker. Okay, so now I have a perfect folded triangle. You're going to take that part, stick it flat on the table, and fold up one of the bottoms so it kind of looks like an arm is hugging across the middle. Kind of hard to see here. So that's up like that. And then you're going to take the other arm and fold it flat across the top. And then crease it down like that. And now you're going to have what looks like this. Okay? Now, the very top has two flaps. Kind of two openings there. You're just going to take the top flap, fold it down, make a nice crease, and flip it over, and do the same thing with the other one. So there you go. Now if you look at it, it's like a little pocket. You can put little things that you find outside in there. You can even pour water in it. Watch this. It won't hold long if it's just plain paper, because it'll get soggy and drip through, but there is water in here. Refreshing. All right, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun today. If you like these activities, come and join us next month for some more Tween DIYs. Thanks a lot.